Hey guys, we thought we'd do a quick video on how to set up and sight in the Killer Instinct Speed Ring Scope. So before we get into it, one of the things that we want to call out is this is not a variable powered scope. This is not designed to zoom in closer to look at a target at longer distances by turning this ring. So when you start out, the Speed Ring Scope has a couple of things you need to pay attention to. You need to know the speed of your bow, and you need to know the grain weight of your crossbow bolt. Now the reticle of the scope is set up primarily for a 400 grain crossbow bolt, total weight, that includes your point. And again, knowing the rough speed of your crossbow overall. If you have a different grain crossbow bolt, we'll get into that in a minute in terms of how to make adjustments later on. So once you have everything mounted and ready to go, you're going to get your zero at 20 yards or 30 yards, depending on what your preference is, and you're going to make all of your fine-tune adjustments with the turrets. Once you get zeroed in at 20 yards and you know roughly the speed of your bow, let's say for example your bow shoots 400 feet per second. We'll slide the ring to 400 feet. Shoot your bow at 20, then move back to longer distances, 30, 40, maybe even go back to 50 yards. Now one of the things that we'll find is some of your faster crossbows have very, very tight gappage at your 20, your 30, and your 40. So once you kind of get up above 400 feet per second, the top of the triangle is going to be your 0 or your 20. The bottom of the triangle is going to be your 30. And then the dot underneath that is going to be your 40. Now if you have a slower crossbow, something that's 320, 330, 350, you may find that it's better to zero your crossbow at 20, just above the triangle. And your next dot down is going to be your 30-yard mark. So once we set up our crossbow going 400 feet per second, we're going to shoot at 20, and then we're going to move out to 50 yards, and we're going to see where you're impacting. At that point, if you're impacting a little high, a little low, you might be able to do a little bit of fine adjusting, plus or minus 5 feet per second, to really dial everything in. Now, if your crossbow bolt is significantly heavier or significantly lighter, or maybe has vanes that create more drag, you're going to have to make some adjustments to the process. First, again, you're going to fine-tune and zero your crossbow at 20 yards or 30 yards using the turrets. If you know the speed of your bow, 400 feet per second, then you're going to step out to a longer distance, let's say 60 yards, and get a sense of where your crossbow bolt is impacting relative to the point that you're aiming at. If it's shooting really high or it's shooting really low because of the weight of your bolt, you may have to make adjustments up and down. So for example, if your crossbow bolt is shooting significantly lower, you may have to go a little bit lower than the speed on the scope to help make that adjustment for the weight of the bolt or the drag of the vanes that you choose. If you have any questions, please reach out to our customer service team for more information.